Last night, the battle lines inside Israel became crystal clear. And no, not the ones in Gaza, the ones right here at home. While Israeli soldiers are gearing up for the biggest and most decisive phase of the war, others are already trying to turn the guns inward, and they're doing it at the worst time possible. Attorney General Gali Baharav-Miara, known for trying to hand more power to the unelected judges, issues a new demand. The government must launch a full state commission of inquiry into October 7th. Immediately. Not after the war, not after the hostages come home, right now. And why a state commission? Because in a state commission, it's not elected officials who run the show. It's the judges, it's the bureaucrats, the same system that failed Israelis on October 7th, now demanding full control to investigate everyone else. But the government answered clearly, not now. This is not the time to start a political civil war while Israeli boys and girls are still fighting and dying. Instead, they form a special investigative committee, a tool that doesn't hand full control to the courts, and they'll update the Supreme Court in 90 days after this next phase of the war. Because while the court system plays power games, the Israeli government is pushing ahead where it matters most, on the battlefield. The Security Cabinet unanimously approved a bold new plan to conquer Gaza territories, push Hamas forces south, establish deep Israel control to prevent Hamas from ever rebuilding, and overhaul humanitarian aid to block Hamas from stealing supplies. Not endless targeted raids, not managing the war. Real victory, the way wars are supposed to be fought. But not everyone is happy about it. Inside Israel, a new front is opening up. Hostage families, suffering every day that their loved ones aren't home, are now accusing the government of choosing land over hostages. The Hostages Forum released a furious statement calling the new plan the Smotrich-Netanyahu plan, accusing them of abandoning the captives to focus on territory instead. But here's the truth. Bringing the hostages home depends on crushing Hamas, not necessarily surrendering to it, not trading one massacre today for a bigger one tomorrow. Destroying Hamas, securing Gaza, that's how you bring everyone home safely. And that's how you make sure that October 7th never happens again. However, not everyone agrees with this, especially the families of those still trapped in Gaza, and understandably so. Communications Minister Shlomo Karhi put it bluntly that victory isn't just about fighting Hamas fighters. It's about actually changing Gaza forever. Israel is quietly working with allies to create a path for voluntary emigration, giving Gazans the option to leave peacefully and build new lives elsewhere. Pressure will build, life under Hamas will crumble, and those who want a future, not a war zone, will have an actual way out. This isn't just about winning battles, it's about changing the map permanently. Meanwhile, inside the cabinet, tensions are getting hot. Itamar Ben-Gvir said what many Israelis are thinking. Stop sending humanitarian aid. Starve Hamas out. Choke them completely. Why are we giving aid to those who demand our destruction? IDF Chief of Staff Eyal Zamir pushed back hard, warning that cutting off all aid would violate international law and hurt Israel's standing. Netanyahu stepped in, reminding ministers that they are allowed to express their opinions, but in the end, Israel has to act smart, not reckless. A middle path will now come to be. Aid will flow, but under strict Israeli control, ensuring that Hamas cannot steal and rearm themselves. And back in the Knesset, once again, the draft exemption battle is exploding. Yair Lapid accused the government of paying ultra-Orthodox men not to serve. Naftali Bennett slammed the coalition leaders as draft evaders, and Yuli Edelstein summoned Netanyahu and Defense Minister Katz to explain why reservists are being sent back to war while others stay home. It's a fight that isn't going away, and it's a conversation Israel will have to face sooner or later. Israel has a very simple choice: finish the war or collapse into internal battles before the war is even won. While Baharav-Miara and others are trying to drag the country into endless commissions and hearings, because that's her job, and she's bored without it, the real leadership is focusing on winning, on hostage rescuing, on defeating Hamas once and for all. There's a time for investigations, and there's a time for victory. And right now, victory comes first. For JFE.com, this has been Overnight Israel. Please like, share, comment. It helps more than you know. I'm Simcha Brodsky. See you tomorrow.